Over the past years, we have had students from Hudson Way ex-mission at all various points. As I mentioned, when we started out, we were only going up through grade 3, our students, and so some would leave in various points, and they've been accepted at the schools that you hear of, and top tier schools, all kinds of schools. They run the range, and in New Jersey, also these are independent schools. Of course, we have some students that go on to public schools in both New York and New Jersey, which I'm not showing here the list of those public schools. That's dependent on the town. And then also in New York, there's of course the gifted and talented program. We've had students get into a number of those in kindergarten, specifically music, special music school, which is a really tough one to get into. But over the years too, we've been developing our relationship with these schools. As we've had more students ex-mission, we've gotten to know the admissions directors, and Robin has been very helpful, and Nellie has had with all of her connections in the New Jersey and New York markets as well. We'll get more into that as we talk about the support of how we support ex-missions. I wanted to share this data point, this chart here, and hope you can see it here, because this is looking at the students for the past 7-8 years that have here 7 years, 2014 through 21, in the New York students that we have. And what this is showing are the students that have left in preschool through grade 4. These are all the students with all of the schools that they applied out to. So, for example, if we had 25 students, they applied to 5 schools each, we'd be looking at 125 student applications. How many of those did they get accepted? And so we broke apart this data to look at those that applied out in preschool through grade 4 and those that applied out grades 5 through grade 7. So what this is saying is that 47% of those applications were accepted. It's not saying only 47% of students were accepted. All the students landed someplace, but students, what we tend to find in the younger cohorts is that because all of the students, so many of them are applying in grade K, which is the typical entry point for a K-12 ongoing school, parents are applying to 8, 10 schools. And of course, some of them on the list are ones that are notoriously very selective. And so their chances of getting into those may be dependent on so many factors that have not much to do with the student, legacy, sibling, things like that. What we have found for the students that have applied out grades 5 through 7, their list of schools is typically smaller, and they are able to get in to the schools that they apply to 90% of the time. And I've listed here those particular schools that they've gotten into. And some of these students have gotten into, many of them, every single school that they have applied to. So it's been a really surprising and exciting, I think, outcome for us to see that these students have landed and found the school that they feel is best and they're most comfortable with. Want to show some data for the New Jersey. This is also going over the last several years. And this is a little bit different because different analysis, because we don't have we have a couple of the schools in the New Jersey market that only start accepting students in sixth grade, and that's Morristown Beard here and Newark Academy. So what we have seen here is a comparison of looking at all the students that have applied out in grades 5 and up. Where did they apply? Where did they get in? And and then general is what is out there in terms of published of what is their acceptance rate. And this is we looked at niche, for example. So niche reports that, let me take you through an example. Newark Academy. So of our students that applied out, 56% of them got accepted, and in the general market, their admissions rate is much lower, 28. Pingree, 72% of our students were accepted, and the general admissions on niche is 30%. And then Kent Place and Morristown, we've gotten all of our students accepted there, grades 5 and up, of course. And then, I have some other ones where we did get some student accepted, but the numbers were so small that I didn't feel comfortable saying it as a percentage. But it's exciting to see that the word is getting out. And what's really nice too is when I hear from the staff members of a Kent Place or teachers of some of these schools at Pingree, and they come back and they say, wow, the students that we've gotten are so great. We'd love to have them all. Or we've even had teachers of these schools now applying for their own children to come to our school. And so that's the case with 2 or 3 of these schools in New Jersey.
I'm Lisa Huang. I'm a parent in the New York campus. I've had 3 kids go through Hudson Way, 1 who is still there, 2 that have commissioned out, and we've been with the school since, I think, nearly inception in New York City back in 2009 or 8, around there. So my kids all started through the preschool program, starting at age 2, 2.5. My older one commissioned out in 6th grade, so she finished through 5th grade, and has since moved on and is a 7th grader at Chapin. And my second also started in preschool at 2 or 3 years old, and he left last year and is now a 5th grader at collegiate. We've had very smooth transitions, given especially COVID year this year, smooth in terms of academically, socially, the children have really just fit right in. And I think similar to the testimonials we heard from the parents that reported, I think the Hudson Way education really helps them stand out through the application process. I think the education did give them the confidence. The bilingual mindset certainly helps, especially now as they're learning their 3rd language at the new schools. So overall, it's been a great experience. So we still have our 3rd one there, and we'll keep her there for a while. And we're feeling a little bit better with admissions for her. So we don't even know when we'll transition her out, but we're happy where she is now at Hudson Way.